Please stand. I would ask that Commissioner Harwell do the prayer and the pledge for us today.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today, God. We just ask you to be with us at this meeting, God. I ask you to give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the business of the school system. God, I ask you to be with our superintendent and his staff, our teachers, and all the people that work at our schools. God, I ask you to be with them and protect them. God, I ask you to continue to be with our students this summer, to watch over them, protect them, keep them safe. God, I ask you to be with the people that's protecting our great country, God. And I just ask you to be with them and keep them safe, God. I just pray for all our government, God, and what's going on in our country, God. I just ask you to also give them wisdom, God, and knowledge of the things that we could do to help, God, and whatever we need to do, God, just ask you to be with them and be with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting of the Board of School Commissioners will begin at this time, and thanks to all of our folks out here today, particularly those who are getting some type of an award, for showing up here and making it a full house, so to speak. We're really proud of all of you, and we're certainly glad that you're here with us today. We'll begin by asking for an approval of the minutes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The agenda adoption, are there any additions or subtractions from the agenda that we went over at the work session, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir. We have two additional items. That's G30, action item G30. It's the Sonny Callahan for the school and the deaf and blind drainage improvement project. We had two quotes. We went with the lowest quote with J&A Contracting for $49,900. That includes sod. That's coming out of PSF funds. That's action item G30, Sonny Callahan Drainage Improvement. We also have an addition, G33, action item G33, the summer rates. We're just going to continue. Last year, if you can recall, we increased the summer pay due to the shortage of workers. So as you can see, the increased amount, we just want to continue to give those raises for this summer. So I will be asking for you to approve action item G33, summer rate pay.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any announcements? Mr. Stringfellow?
No, sir.
Dr. Crenshaw?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I'd like to say congratulations and welcome, particularly to the MGM girls softball team who are here today. I love girls softball, and we're really happy to have you here today. And I know that there are other folks, but I know about them. And seeing young folks here at a board meeting is a good thing. I enjoy that. Mr. Superintendent, you have any announcements?
No, sir.
Reports and recognitions.
Yes, sir. We have two. All right, can we call forward Mr. Harwell, Coach Barkley Davis, Coach Jenna Stokely, and all of the softball players from Mary G. Montgomery High School, as well as anyone else from the school who's here. You stand there, yeah, just for 1 second. And then we have an intern from the Office of Communication, Caitlin Prowl, who's going to help you with your certificates too. So we'll let her come up and help now that I've embarrassed her. Okay. The Mary G. Montgomery softball team represented the South Region in the state 7A softball championship tournament, finishing the season with 30 wins. The Lady Vikings had a remarkable season with the following players. Actually, I'm going to let Coach Barkley, I'm going to give you your certificate. I think she and Mr. Harwell are going to say a few words and introduce the team that's here.
Well, I'll go first, and I'll let Barkley speak, but I just appreciate Coach Barkley and Miss Culbert's here, and Coach Curtis is here with them. But it's a long road to where they're at today. I was hoping Miss Box would get to come, former coaches, and Miss Culbert's former coach. And so the program's been doing really good for a long time, but Miss Barkley, you did a great job. The team did a great job, and we'll appreciate it. I know there's a lot of young girls on this team, and I've read a lot about them. So you're going to introduce them, tell some of the individual awards they've got, and then you know, it's hard for me not to say anything about Dr. Foster right now, but you know, I will go ahead and get this over with. He did, you know, he's been very forward about congratulating MGM, but he did give me a call one night, and he let me know that one of his school teams, I don't like to mention those schools, did beat us. But he was, you know, he was receptive when I called and told him there were some change events at a later tournament. So he's been part of it. He's been a good sport, and I usually just sit in my chair and have to bear a lot of it. But it's okay. And I told him, I know Miss Barkley's got a few words for Dr. Foster, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Thank you for coming to Baker while we advanced to the regional tournament. We worked really hard all season. They came in before school. They came in after school. Lots of weekends, lots of blood, sweat, and tears, specifically for the only senior that's here today, Mallory. She spent 6 years fighting to get to the state tournament, so we were glad that we were able to send her off at least with the showing at the state tournament. And then we had one other senior who had to go to work today, Brianna Faircloth. And then our juniors also at work are Lena Holloman, Haley Hall, and Aaron Barker is currently trying out for a college team. Jaden Sawyer is in Colorado playing softball. And then we have Olivia Smith. She tore her labrum in February, so she got to play one game with a torn labrum, and then she got it repaired. Haley Hall tore her ACL in December. Cassidy Posey was a junior, now a senior. Bailey Keller is now a senior, and Kylie McDuffie tore something in her knee 2 weeks before the area tournament and continued to play through that. I don't think I missed any juniors. So they have actually been stuck with me every year that they've played school ball. I started with them in middle school, and I followed them their freshman year to the high school and said, like, I'm not done with y'all yet, or rather, you're not done with me yet. And then we had sophomore Michaela Baumgardner, who was our more times than not our go-to pitcher. She finished the season with 195 strikeouts as the pitcher, not the batter. She broke the singles in a season record with 37, and she tied the doubles record for the school with 18. Breeley Corley is now junior center fielder. Lacey Riley broke the RBI record for the school at the regional tournament. We were really excited when she broke it, and she said, I'm not done yet. So she actually broke it and now holds the new one at 56 RBIs in a single season. Madison Chastain is not here today. And then we had freshmen Ava Graddick, Gracie Coleman, Mackenzie Eaglet, and Emily Perry were all freshmen playing at the state tournament. And then we had 2 8th graders, Cheyenne Lawshy and Rebecca Vertrees. And then we brought along anyone who was willing to yell in the dugout. Hannah Finner is a sophomore, now sophomore. Madison Hall, Erica Barker, Kyla Miller, and Lexi Pierce. And that's one of the things that we kind of strived off of, was how loud our dugout could get and when they could pull it off. The louder they were, the more into the game our teams were. And there were some games it was like you just didn't want it to end, even though it had to. But the dugout, just the team morale in general, was through the roof. And so we decided, you'd been stuck with me all season. Why would we leave you in Mobile when we go to regionals and state? So we put them on the bus, and I could not have done it without those 5 kids that they did stats for me. They did, hey, I need a ball. Hey, I need this. Hey, can you do this? Will you go catch a pitcher? They were the glue that held the state team together. But as far as our field was concerned, we had 1 senior on the field, 3 juniors on the field, and everybody else was a sophomore or a freshman. So we expect to get back on that dirt this next season and the season after that, and many more seasons to follow. Mal is our senior that's here today. She got the walk-off single at the regional tournament to defeat Theodore 4-3 in 9 innings. That was one of those hits that you just are waiting on. You just know she's going to pull it out. She's one of those that you put the bat in her hand, she's going to find a way to score that run. And she scored Michaela from second on a ground ball up the middle. So it was just everything in them. They knew they wanted to get to the state tournament, and that's what it was. You couldn't have slowed Michaela down. And I think Mal was rounding going to third on a ground ball to center field. So it was just they had flame under their feet. And I'm just so appreciative of all of the work that they've done. Their parents are, we have a rigorous schedule. I ask a lot of them, and given that we had mostly underclassmen, they don't drive yet. So the parents were always everywhere. You need them there at 5:50 in the morning, that's fine. We'll roll out of bed, we'll throw them out of the car. So we can't do what we do. We can't get to where we got without our parents, our school. I was grateful to play under Miss Box. When I was in school, I played with Coach Culbreth, and then I followed her when she decided she was going to go be a big dog at the school. So I stay in contact. I've got great mentors at our school, whether they like it or not. But for everybody that's had a part in us, Mr. Harwell, thank you. He called me before we even got on the interstate after the state tournament. I don't know that y'all even know that. And he just congratulated all of y'all. For me as a coach, it was my first time as a head coach coaching at the state tournament, so it was a shell shock for me, and I just had to try to play it cool because I know that as the freshmen, the sophomores, and the juniors who didn't go, Mal got to go as an 8th grader to state, but it was our first time, so it was wild. Just talking them off the ledge was hard because I'm trying to talk myself off the ledge, but we had a good year, and we hope we all invite us back next year after we do the same thing, maybe have a little better showing at the state tournament. But they're not ready to stop yet, so. Thank you.
If you ladies will squeeze in, Caitlin's gonna take your picture. Mr. Harwell and Coach, if you want to get the picture too. I can hold that for you if you. Just do it at the parking lot.
Hey, we're gonna take 2 pictures, all right? We're gonna take this picture, and then we're gonna invite Dr. Foster up to come get the bill.
That's your softball specialist. Send it to the state.
Congratulations. And- All right, and you ladies may be seated. And as you are, if you're from Mary G. Montgomery, can you stand just so we can recognize you? If you're a parent or with the staff. Good job. Congratulations. All right. And now I'd like to call forward Mr. Stringfellow and the Davidson High School soccer team. The Davidson High School boys soccer team scored more than 100 goals this past season, winning their conference championship with a perfect 8-0 record and reaching the state finals. This was the third time in 4 seasons that the Warriors made it to the state finals. They finished the season with 22 wins. The Davidson soccer program has had 30 players receive soccer scholarships for college over the last couple of years. So congratulations to the team and to Coach Kevin DeLonga and Colin Lowell. And we'll name the players in just a minute, but I know that Mr. Stringfellow wants to say a few words. Oh, Coach, he's calling you to come up here, both coaches.
All right, I'm going to make a few comments, and then I'll let the coaches both talk. First of all, very proud to represent Davidson High School. How many Davidson High School folks do we have here today? Stand up for me, please. Outstanding. Okay, I'm glad to see. And I know the coach who was telling me earlier, Mr. Tolbert, thank you for representing Davidson here today, that there were several of the young men that were working or had already traveled to schools that they might be going to and so forth. These young men, from what I've understood, has, like has been said, has been in the state finals, the semifinals and so forth for the past few years. And that speaks an awful lot to the program that they have established there under these coaches that are right next to me. And I want to congratulate, they made the Final Four. They lost to Daphne, which ranked me an awful lot. But that being said, 4-2, but Daphne ended up winning the state championship. But as you know, in soccer, one goal here or there can make a big difference. But these young men represented our school, or Davidson, in a very great way. One other thing a lot of folks in here probably don't know is that some of these young men, and some of them are here today, had to make a decision because they were at the state tournament when their graduation was going. It might have been the same thing for Mary Montgomery like that. So some of these kids had to make a big decision. Do I go to my graduation, which you get to do once in your lifetime, or do I represent the school and in the soccer tournament? And they made the unanimous decision to do that. So back a few weeks ago, after Davidson's regular graduation, we had a special personal graduation at the auditorium in Davidson High School so that those kids could walk down with their gowns and receive their certificate. And so I'm extremely proud of them. So I'm going to let Coach DeLonga talk here just a minute because he had some really good things to say about these young men and about the program, and then I'll close with a few other comments. Coach?
Good morning. I first want to thank the board. I want to thank Superintendent Threadgill and the members of Mobile County Public School System. I want to extend, first of all, how appreciative we are as a school, but also as a program, because we do get the support we need from behind the scenes, and you guys are not appreciated for that. So without a doubt on that. I also want to thank the staff at Davidson High School, Mr. Talbot, for coming on behalf of Mr. Richardson. Again, I would be amiss if I did not thank the teachers, the administration, for helping us both on and off the field, which we know is very, very important on that. If I had to talk about the boys, I could probably go on for hours. I mean, each and every one has a special story in my heart. But I think as a program, it's about 3 years into my program. This is my 15th year. And one of the guys from Cameroon, Kevin Dongo, I'll never forget, he came to me and says, Coach, I want to go to college. And I said, okay, let's see what we can do. And for me, up until that third year, that was my aha moment, because I realized that it's not about the wins, the losses, which we've been very successful, but it's about getting these youngsters to the next step, about giving them opportunities beyond the walls of Davidson High School and any school on that part right there. So he was the first one in his family to go to college, and from then, that's all it was. And that's why in the notes I did mention that we have had over 30 soccer scholarships. We've had several that obviously have gone to college, but 30 soccer scholarships. And that's our legacy. That's our legacy right currently, past, and it'll be our legacy going future. Over the last 5 years, we've been fortunate enough. We've been up to the state finals 3 times. We haven't brought back the blue trophy, as they call it, the blue map, but we brought the red map twice, and we lost in the semifinals this past year. But to me, I just want to honor the youngsters. If you look at the faces over there, you'll probably notice an extremely diverse family of soccer players. And that's been there for the last 15 years. And that's been my blessing, being able to bring these different cultures, these different youngsters from different backgrounds, and coming together and being a soccer family on that part. So just I want to look you guys and just let you guys know how proud I am of this group, but how proud I am of those that have left the stepping stones for you guys to be where you are at today. And I'm going to go out on a limb. This is a little different. I want to thank my wife. Just because she is my backbone. She is this is her ministry as well. And so for me as a coach to be standing here and taking the accolades would not be fair if I did not let people know that it takes a family, it takes a strong wife to help you be the coach that you want to be. And for these youngsters, they know they have a second mom as well. So thank you so much, and I appreciate the time.
And I do want to name the players, and if you're here, wave to us, please. Riley Wilson, Aiden Hammack, Jonah DeLange, Jimmy Lopez, Patrick Pouye, Riley McGill, Davis Beasley, Kidomo Albert, Barani Kenye, Javier Palau, Brian Rojo Fuentes, Kevin Din, Espiore Bosco, Ethan Walker, Drew McCarthy, Joseph Harmon, Juan Carcoma Del Zato, Ian Westerfield, Juma Pacific, Stan Blejas, Mauricio Garcia, Tommy Din, and Chase Travis. So congratulations. Gonna squeeze in, and we're going to get your picture now. Thank you.
Seniors in the back, for sure, we know that. Juniors, next down, and then the sophomore refresh, rising sophomore.
I figured you would. And we will put these on the MCPSS Facebook page too, if anybody wants to grab them from there. All right, congratulations.
Well, I have the opportunity and have the podium right here. I went last night and took a look, and we were proud of the soccer team, and also there were several members of the track team that performed well at the state championships and the region championships, and they are to be congratulated also. Last night, I went through and did a little research on Davidson High School. All of our board members represent high schools. Davidson's the only high school that I have, and I'm extremely proud of it, like I'm proud of all of our other high schools. I'm going to ask if you're a Davidson faculty member or teacher or administrator, would you stand for just a minute, please? Okay. Where's Mr. There you go, Mr. Tolbert. Thank you here. Okay, first of all, I want to say something. U.S. News and World Report came out about 6 weeks ago, and it ranked all of the top public high schools in the state of Alabama. Actually, they ranked them 1 through 100 and some odd schools or whatever. And it turned out, I found out, and they ranked the schools based on their academic performance on state tests, graduation, and all of those things. Davidson ranked number 26. I think the previous year, too, it was number 25. But what was important to me was it was the highest ranked school in Metro Mobile based on the state required testings and graduation rate for our students who are prepared for college. Now, at this particular point, and I don't know if these teachers right here or the coaches right there, but Davidson High School, and this is something we're pushing all the time, has, let me make sure I've got 11 national board certified teachers, and that's what we're asking all of them to try to reach that summit, and several others are on their way. Davidson has several teachers who are AP/IB graders in the subject, not just the teacher, which is another significant thing, which at the state level, which helps the school kickstart that particular program. Their computer science program is led by a lady named Mary Claire Wright, who was a Golden Apple Award winner a couple of years ago, who's a trainer at the state level for that particular program. 8 years in a row, the juniors at Davidson High School have earned the highest ACT composite and the highest number of meeting benchmarks based on spring testing. And 100% of the IB programs were awarded IB diploma for the class of 2021. Now listen to this, the average, I'm talking about the average, not individual, the average ACT score for all of the IB class for 2022, which is coming out of the pandemic, was 31. Now that's, to me, speaks volumes for what this staff and so forth does. Nearly 1/3 of the school, which it has a signature academy of IB or EPIC, is enrolled in that particular program. So it's been some time. I go by Davidson and I see the programs and I see the things that they've done, but I'm extremely proud, and I thought it was remiss of me if I didn't talk about the academic accomplishments along with the sports-related things. So congratulations to y'all, well done.
Okay, are there any other recognitions or? That's it. Okay, one thing we need to jump back and do, we need to adopt the agenda as amended. Do I hear a motion?
Motion. So move we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
It's been moved twice and seconded that we accept the agenda as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, do we have any citizens' requests? Okay, let's move to the action
Mr.
items.
Chairman, may I speak just for a moment, please?
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
No, sir. I asked to be spoke, so if I could say something. I know some of these teachers and also students have to go to work and stuff, so if they wanted the opportunity, if you want to stay for the whole board meeting, we certainly recognize that, but if you have other things to do, and some of y'all have indicated that, this is a good time to leave like that. So, thank you.
I don't blame you.
I know they.
That didn't mean you, Arthur. Congratulations, guys.
Yes, sir. Davidson has an unbelievable diverse population. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing. They have their own strengths and stuff like that. Listen, I'm glad that they had to call them in.
We did everything we can, right?
Force nobody allowed.
Okay, can we move to the action items, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir. We will begin with action item G1, the investment plan. This is for myself and Lori to go into negotiation to enter into an investment agreement with Regions Bank and PNC Bank, up to $40 million for Regions Bank and $20 million for PNC. I ask that you approve action item G1, our investment plan.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move for action items, approval of action items G1 through G5.
G1 through G5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded for items 1 through 5. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, action item G6 for Waterford Research. This is to provide Waterford Early Learning, Reading, Math, and Science, which is a comprehensive computer-based intervention program designed to help children build the academic foundation. That's coming out of federal funds for $83,400. I ask that you approve action item G6 for Waterford Research.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
offer motion to approve action items 6 through 26.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded to approve items 6 through 26?
Yes, sir. Yes.
6 through 26.
All right, action item G27.
Hold on.
Okay,
Hadn't
I'm sorry.
approved it yet. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Superintendent.
All right, action item G27, O'Shell Road Elementary, a change order for the roof replacement. That was a decreased amount of $35,798. The original amount was $332,900. The revision is $297,102. That's coming out of insurance money. I ask that you approve action item G27 for the change order.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. President, since
Yes.
it's already vetted, I ask that we move, we approve action items 27 through 32.
27 through 32. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded for items 27 through 32. Any further discussions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Superintendent, I'd like to ask Mr. Scarborough a question,
All
please.
right.
The drainage program, the funding for the Sunday Callahan Regional School, Mr. Scarborough, this has been an ongoing thing for about 3 years. Do you think this is going to, from your expertise, is going to finally solve the problem?
Yes, I believe we will. We have an engineer.
we've had problems with that gradient problem over at the school for a number of years, and they put in culverts, and they've done other things to try to divert the water, so I'm hopeful. I know you can't assure everything 100%, but we're fighting Mother Nature over there every time it comes a significant rain like that. When would they start the work on that? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Any further discussion? Questions? Okay.
Move for the question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, action item G33, summer rates. To continue to increase our summer rates you have before you. As I said before, we did this last year because of the shortage of workers. So I ask that you approve action item G33, summer rates increase.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval, action items G 33 through G 46.
Second.
Through G42,
46, sir.
6.
46.
46, I'm sorry. Do I hear a second on that? Been moved and properly seconded for items just mentioned through 46. Do I hear I'm calling for the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir. H1 with Glenwood for Kate Shepherd Elementary School to provide an on-site educational and professional development presentation on managing behavior and crisis training. That's coming out of Title I funds, which is federal fund, for $4,200. That's H1 Glenwood.
Do you hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 16.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded for the consent agenda items 1 through 16, which is various bids. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Student expulsions, I don't see any here, Mr. Superintendent.
No, sir, we have
Could
not.
you move to the information, please?
Yes, sir. Information item J1 are the monthly financials. And also J2, purchase orders over 5,000.
Okay, that's just for information. Now, any questions on that? Mr. Attorney?
We have the agreed-to suspension we discussed at the work session for approval.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
offer motion we concur with the recommendation of the attorney on the said matters discussed in executive session.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded for the item, the agreed-upon suspension. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Scheduling of meetings, Mr. Superintendent. On which date?
July 6.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Because I may be wrong, but I heard at the last student expulsions that they were going to try to cram 8, I repeat, 8 discipline things. Now, I don't have no problem being here the whole time. That's what I'm elected for like that, but that's, I don't know what that would do to the time for that particular hearing and also Mr. Threadgill's special call. So maybe we need a clarification on that.
The student hearing is on July the 20th.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have a personnel hearing on July 6th.
Yes.
Yes, personnel.
I just understood it was going to be on the 6th, but I stand corrected.
Okay. Any other comments, gentlemen, down here, Swiss end?
Nothing on this end, Mr. Chairman.
Nothing here.
Mr. Superintendent? I have one other comment. My wife baked a cake over there. If any of you would like to get a piece of cake before you leave, it's not bad. It's one of those lemon cakes, I think, the one that Crenshaw complains about all the time.
You know I'm diabetical.
He'll be taking a hunk of it with him when he leaves, so you can rest assured. But anyway, it's over there. There are little plates and so forth. If you'd like to get a slice of it.
It was not prepared by you, was it?
No.
Okay, good, good.
Very little is prepared by me.
That's a wonderful thing. Motion to
Okay, do I
adjourn.
hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded for adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.